Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to teach you how to build items to become a wood elf. Just to kind of throw together a quick costume if you'd like to become any kind of elf really, but in my case this was a wood elf. I built this cosplay as an original character that I developed over time. Her name is Era, and I have also created a story to follow along with my character, as well as other characters throughout the story that I will be creating. So hopefully you guys find this video to be useful for you, and if you do make any creations, make sure to tag me and let me know throughout my social media. Now let's get started. For Era the Wood Elf, I decided I wanted a very woodland forest based look to go for this cosplay, considering she is a wood elf after all. So I decided I was going to use thin EVA foam to create gauntlets. I wanted these gauntlets to look very vine-like or even like tree branches. So I drew my own design and then I cut it out completely from the foam. And once that was done, I painted it all brown. Once it dried, I used thin like lace, which was green, to tie the gauntlet around my wrist and the top of my forearm to keep it in place. And it was a really nice design that didn't look too much like armor, but looked more natural. I also wanted to make a belt for this cosplay. So I took an old belt that I don't use anymore, and I got some thin EVA foam, which I cut out a design that I came up with, and I was going to use this as a belt buckle for this belt. I painted it gold, and I attached some Velcro pieces to the back of the belt buckle and also onto the actual belt in order to be able to take it on and off very easily. I also had an old scarf that was green, and I cut it up and made it look a little bit shabby. And I put Velcro pieces on the ends of this scarf piece, and I also attached that to the inside of my belt. So Era the Wood Elf was an archer in my story, so what I wanted to do was create a quiver to hold her arrows that I was going to create. So I took some thin EVA foam and I rolled it in a cone shape, which I used hot glue in order to hold in place. For the quiver, I actually poked some holes in the bottom and the top of the quiver and attached a piece of rope in order to have it over my shoulder. I then took leaves from the dollar store that I hot glued all around the quiver just to kind of cover it. Also, please don't mind that throughout this video I am wearing soccer shorts and crop tops. It was summertime, I was lazy, and I look like poop. But that's what I decided to wear when I'm making cosplays because I like to be comfortable. I also cut out some thin EVA foam that I painted gold. This was just to give a design onto the quiver so it didn't look so plain, and I hot glued this over the leaves once they were done. So for Era's bow, what I wanted to do was make something very simple because I was time constricted. So I ended up finding an actual bow from the dollar store, and I painted it to the colors that I needed it to be to look more like wood. I then took that green lace-like material in order to make the handle of the bow look more natural. And again, using leaves from the dollar store, I started hot gluing them on throughout the rest of the bow just to make it look more like a forest created weapon versus being very plastic or very fake looking. This was a time constraint for me, although if you want to create your own, you easily can using simple things like wire, or even if you want to use insulation foam and just cut out your shape, that's totally cool too. This was just because I needed it quickly for the photo shoot that was coming up. Once I was done putting all the leaves on the bow, I decided that I actually wanted to give it a little bit more of a flair. So I ended up getting these suede strings that I found again at the lovely dollar store, and I attached beads onto the string. At the end of the strings, I hot glued feathers that I happened to find, which had a little bit of like brown colors in them, so it looked very, very natural once again and very forest-like. And I glued them at the bottom of each string that I attached at the bottom of my bow. For the arrows, they actually happened to come with the bow that I purchased. So because they were blue and orange, I really didn't like it. So I painted them brown to look like wood, and then I got thin EVA foam that I cut triangular pieces out and hot glued them to the end of the arrow to give that pointed look. The back of the arrows, instead of keeping that orange, I did paint it brown, and then I attached some feathers onto the back. I would like to give a quick shout out to Mark and Jay for being awesome patrons that have supported me through all of my cosplays, and this cosplay in particular was actually a Patreon funded cosplay. So it was really cool to be able to build something with everybody's help, so thank you again. Thank you for tuning into this video, and if you would like, please like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to check out some more tutorials and other cosplay related videos. Also trips and cons that I go to, so it's very exciting for all the different things that I will be posting. So if you subscribe, you will be notified when I post new content. Thank you for tuning in and hope to see you guys soon.